What is good, YouTube? It's your dude, E-Dub, and I'm back. Yes, you clicked on the right video. This is not a ringside retro video. This is a sneaker review. Today I'll be reviewing the Nate Robinson EQLZ 360. Not a Nike, not Adidas, not a Jordan. I think this is the first shoe on the channel that we've reviewed, like an actual sole review, that's not Nike, Jordan, Adidas, Puma, any big brands. I think this is the first overseas brand we might have actually reviewed. And I'm super excited because this pair, I was super excited for. First of all, huge Nate Robinson fan. I brought the notebook here, so if you see me glancing over here, I just wanted to write down a lot of things that I actually want to talk about this shoe and Nate's journey, and just a lot of cool details about this shoe and the pack that came out in general. There's a lot of cool things if you love storytelling and the shoes that come with the good storytelling. You will be intrigued about this pair right here. So first, we'll start out. This is such a cool moment for me. I've had these shoes ever since they came out, but I didn't want to mess up the video. Basically because I wanted to get all the information right. I wanted to do some deep diving on his Instagram and the EQLZ's Instagram and just make sure all the information was correct because Nate Robinson has always been one of my favorite basketball players since I was a kid. That's not just me saying that because I have his shoe. I actually bought the Heart of Height book when I was in high school, early high school, I think. And truth be told, I haven't told a lot of people this, but the reason I wore number 4 in high school is because of Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson, Spud Webb. Obviously, I'm a not very tall person, and obviously when I was playing basketball and playing sports, you kind of always pull for the smaller guys that have made it and set examples. So Nate Robinson wore 4, Spud Webb wore 4, Isaiah Thomas wore 4. Um, there was just a lot of people that were shorter guys that wore number 4 that I could connect with, and so that's why I wore number 4 as well on the basketball court. Um, This shoe dropped. We'll get right into it. This shoe dropped as a pack. It was this one, the 360, and there was a 24/7. Um, they called it the Nate pack, obviously because it's Nate Robinson shoe, but the Nate standing for not a typical, not a typical expectation pack. The 360 right here is the one that I have. It's basically built for just shifting and yeah, this is the 360 shifting and speed, and the 24/7, which I'll pop a picture of. It was more for like a flow, kind of just sleek look and everything like that. Um, First of all, before we get too far, we'll go over the box. The box on this is crazy. It looks like an um, old comic book cover storytelling. Which is Nate said that he grew up watching comics, so he really inspired from that. Obviously, the moment of him jumping over Dwight Howard in the slam dunk competition. This is him dunking on Shaq, and I want to say this is him shooting over AI as well. So, just super cool moments in his career. We have him with all his kids. We have Lil Nate and Big Nate. The boxer always meaning to keep fighting no matter what. And then we have him and Shane, who we'll talk about later in the video. Shane plays a very key part in this story, very, very key part. So we're going to talk about that for sure. So let's get right into the shoes. So we have the green paper, and no, I'm playing. Shout out to Mike Rich. If you know, you know. Just ah. No, I'm playing. So here we go. We have the EQLZ 360. Um, this is a crazy looking shoe. I'm not gonna lie. Super cool shoe. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. The reason I had bought this one over the other one is mainly because it reminds me of the Nike Flightposite, the Kryptonite that he wore in the dunk contest. Obviously, when he was dunking over Dwight Howard, and it wasn't Kryptonite, it was Kryptonate that night. So I thought it was cool. He knew that Dwight was gonna do the Superman thing, so he had to figure out some type of way um, to win the crowd over and win the dunk contest. So yeah, that's the main reason why I bought this shoe or this model in particular is because it reminded me of the flight posit that he ended up hooping in, um, and then end up winning the dunk contest in. So yeah, that was a super very pivotal moment for me as a fan, to see a short guy like that win the dunk contest not only once, not only twice, but three times champ. So that is super cool with me. And obviously, being a sneakerhead, that was one of the first um, sneakerhead moments as a kid that I can vividly remember is him winning the dunk contest and winning everybody over. I mean, he had the league in a chokehold at that point, so it was cool to see. And then obviously him going onto the court and playing with the Knicks and just doing great things with them. And then when I was a teenager, he was going into his bull season, um, which was a crazy run as well. That's where the Heart Over Hype book really started. Um, but I vividly remember him playing for Golden State as well with a young Steph Curry and Monte Ellis. Yeah, I'm pulling it way back. So yeah, I love seeing this come full circle, and not only that, to see something like that come to life and recently, here recently in his life. I follow him on Instagram, so I've seen that he's went through dialysis and a kidney transplant, and he went through kidney treatment and everything like that. Um, Not to put everything out personally, but my wife is a dialysis technician, so seeing somebody who you love work in that day in and day out and telling stories about how these people go through these struggles and trying to get on the list for kidney transplant, how hard it is to be on dialysis and live the life. And basically, if you miss a treatment or you could miss one or two treatments, you could basically die. So it's just a full commitment from these people, which is very eye opening and just a surreal thing that people have to go through to try to survive. Is to get these kidney transplants, and that's where we'll talk about Shane here for a minute. Shane is the guy on this picture with Nate, who is the kidney donor for Nate to have his transplant and obviously be successful and come with a cool shoe and basically be able to tell his story. Also, with inside the shoe, um, I'll try to pop up some pictures. But on this shoe, on the inside, on the insole, it says Shane, and then on this shoe, it has Nate's name, but it also has all of Nate's kids' names as well. So it's just super details. You could tell that he's just a humble guy that appreciates, his family and obviously the guy that was able to give him a second chance on life. So, um, when the shoe had came out, it wasn't a shoe that I was expecting to buy, or did I even know it was coming out. Obviously, I followed him on Instagram, but I remember waking up one morning in our group chat, the Soul Sandy group chat that we have on Instagram. Rich had sent it in the group and was like, "This is a cool concept and a cool idea," and like it was almost a sign for me to be like, "Why wouldn't I support this?" You know what I mean? Like having somebody, my wife, who works in this, and then me being a Nate Robinson fan ever since I was a kid, and now coming out with the shoe and just all these things like had came together, and it was like, why wouldn't I buy that? You know what I mean? So this shoe is a very cool addition to the collection, and I'm very happy that I did buy it. Don't know when I'm gonna wear it because this shoe is obviously loud and it's crazy and it's gonna draw a lot of attention. So I don't know what I'm gonna wear it with. I do plan on wearing it. Maybe if we get back on the court, maybe I'll hoop in it. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but we'll see how it goes. Man, it's such a cool, like, just all the details. If you really love storytelling about this shoe, and you really love this shoe, like the shoe game and what it means, it's like when they do stuff like this, like you just can't help but like appreciate it and being like, you know, they went into detail. They did all the right things. They talked to the right people. They interviewed the right people. They put the right people on the boxes and the storytelling, and like they hit it all on this shoe. And um it's just, I'm speechless at this point, because like I said, it's so surreal to me that when it hits me on a personal level, in multiple ways, it's just like, why wouldn't you want to support that? And this will be my first overseas shoe, like a EQLZ. I've never had the Antas. I've never had Dwayne Wade shoe, the Ling Yings. Like, I've never had anything like that. So for this to be my first one, like, it truly does mean something to me, to have it in the collection, and I'm super glad to have it. I'm glad I got this one. No shade to the other one, but like I said, this one just reminds me so much of the ultimate picture of the flight posit and the design of a foam posit. I have um some foam posits down there, so it just reminds me of that look. Um, and I'm super grateful to have these. Um, this is my first sneaker review on the channel. Obviously, I do a segment with Ringside Retros. I'm a diehard wrestling fan, so check those out. We talk about the sneakers that the wrestlers are wearing day in or week in and week out, pay-per-views, everything like that. We talk a little bit of wrestling and what we think's going on for the future. So, man, just want to end this out with shout out to Nate Robinson, man. This is such a cool thing to see. Um, I'm super happy that I got these. I just want to come on here and bust this video out real quick, because it really does mean something for me to have these in the collection. And just like I said, on a personal level, it just means a lot to have these. So, he didn't give them to me or anything. I definitely paid for them, which I wanted to pay for them. Like, obviously supporting it is way bigger than just receiving them, or asking for them. So, yeah, man, that's all I can say. Stay tuned to the channel. We have podcasts coming out every Sunday at 1 p.m. So check out to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see any more obscured reviews like this or something different, let us know in the comments. Um, yeah, let me know what you think of these in the comments. Let me know of the storytelling. Um, let me know. Let's talk about these. I think this is something cool that you don't see every day on the YouTube. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.